Roger Stone, and I had an interesting. I talked to somebody who's sort of like around Republican politics, and he said the funny thing about Roger Stone is that Roger Stone actually is kind of like a real political operative who's adopted this persona, and now almost like the persona is like eating the person. It was a sort of interesting description. But this is an interesting thing about Roger Stone. We usually play him doing a co-hustle with Alex Jones, where he's talking about, voter fraud or the Clintons are murderers or whatever. And he's in that zone and he's carrying water for Donald Trump. And he has a very long, varied, and, of course, like sleazy history with Donald Trump. But here he is on the Ferdinand Amanda Showen program on Miami's WIOD radio. And apparently being on Miami's WIOD radio brings out a very different part of Roger Stone's personality, because he's being asked, should Donald Trump release his tax returns, which, of course, Donald Trump has refused to release. I personally would love to see Donald Trump's vision and dream boards, but he can't we can't see it until he releases his tax returns. And here Roger Stone is saying what Donald Trump should do about his tax returns.
Roger, speaking of putting it out, Mitt Romney said that his mistake during the last presidential cycle was not for releasing his tax returns, but waiting so late to do so. A lot of pressure on Donald Trump, who talks about his business success. Do you not think it is a mistake in judgment not to put, in the interest of transparency before the American people, his tax returns for public examination and view?
Yes, I think he should release his tax returns immediately.
Wow. Well, there it is. Roger Stone just said it, folks.
Someone was annoyed that they weren't made campaign manager. Or Roger Stone is the only person in the orbit of Donald Trump who's canny enough to know that you can't aggressively demand that Hillary Clinton release all of her medical records while accusing her of secretly being on death's door, when half of your campaign is built on bragging about your supposedly astronomical wealth, and you won't release any of your tax returns. Maybe Roger Stone is just the only one smart enough to recognize that.
Hello, you. I'm Sam Seder. Looking for smart progressive talk that is occasionally amusing? Well, subscribe to our YouTube feed. Subscribe to our podcast. Like us on Facebook. And just generally enjoy us.